One really really good point you made at the end. Sometimes I have the right idea, kind of. I cannot find the right words to explain it to some colleagues who are not in the data field. Why do you want to save this data? It's useless, or the schema that you propose is weirdly designed. This is always a discussion. So when do you throw away data? Optimal case, you never throw anything away. Everything gets stored. Nothing gets thrown away, because with machine learning, with data science, you never ever know if let me bring in my stuff. You never know when you need the data, and it's the best thing is you take it to S3, store it somewhere on S3 or some hard drives, and never throw it away. And hard drives within a server, and that's the best case, because you never know where you can make some benefit from the data. Of course, there are cases where it's just so much that you can no longer handle it. What case study was that? I think it was that NASA or something? No, that was CERN. I have a case study on my YouTube about CERN, and they described how they basically throw away data in steps, because it's so much they cannot store it, and they cannot. It's impossible to store it. She says data developer versus old school monolithic senior dev who don't hurt denormalization, microservices, OLAP, and so on. Yeah, it's always the thing. If you don't really need these stuff of tools, and this is why I told you my story, how I got to this. If you never need this because it works on a monolithic thing, it doesn't really make sense to invest all the money to use a big data tool. I'm not very happy these days with the big data tool and big data services and big data platforms thing. It's getting very, very old, because it no longer feels right to call it big data tools. But you get what I mean. I think you get it. And yeah, it's hard to, because they never run into these problems. I would say if you need colleagues to understand this, make it or explain it to them in use cases where or if you have examples where you have some data and you use this data somewhere else with something else or at a later point in time, and you used it for something really, really good, and you stored it, and thank God you stored it, and you remembered the schema and so on, and then you brought it somewhere on or reformatted it to fit a key value store, and you could work with it.